G'day everybody, welcome back into the CEO blog. Of course, the CEO joins us, John Dummersey. JD, how are you?
Very well, Mark.
A bit quieter week in harness racing this week, which is nice. Been focusing on the racing.
No week's quiet. No week's quiet. We've got plenty coming this week, so that's a good part about it.
Let's get into it. Carnival of Cups. Griffith had their heats last night of the Pacers Cup, and Carnival of Cups will roll back into town this weekend.
Yeah, and Terry Powder stole the show with a double, but Saturday night we'll have their main, the Tabcorp Carnival Cups, so I encourage everybody to get along to Griffith. Great racing, they'll really enjoy the night.
Only 2 meetings a year down there, this is it?
That's it, 2 meetings. Many of our clubs in the Carnival Cups have their 2 meetings a year, but they do everything to make these events really beneficial for the community and especially for the fraternity.
Hard to believe the Red Ochre is up to its 20th year. It's been a great race for the mares.
Yeah, and that's part of our new initiatives. Harness Racing New South Wales, in association with 5 clubs, have lifted some of the clubs out of Carnival Cups and made them feature race meetings. But the Red Ochre, December 1, kicks it all off. $50,000 Group 2 race for mares. That should attract plenty. What's really good about the support program, every other race is $10,000 each, so we should get strong fields there.
And open to all mares?
Open to all mares. It doesn't matter if you're a New Zealand bred, you can certainly go in that race. We kick off then, we follow on then to the Shirley Turnbull, the Golden Guitar, the Renshaw Cup and the Trua Memorial. So they're the 5 feature race meetings for the year.
Scott Hewitt, he's a massive weekend.
Massive. First winner at Menangle last Saturday night, and then a treble at Goulburn on Monday. But what is really great about this, he's the trainer-driver as well. So welcome back into the fold. Not that you're ever far away, Scott, but certainly making every race a winner.
Starting to put a bit of pressure on Brad and David too with these wins he's notching up.
Yeah, well, they are really in a good place. And Uncle Bernie, Uncle Mark, the Hewitts, do they rival the Turnbulls? Well, if Scotty really keeps going, there might be a bit of competition there.
Gee, Doug's driving well while Bernie's out too. His driving's gone to the next level. Rugby league accomplished, and his driving's now it's going through the roof too.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like you can say practice makes perfect, and there's so many young kids in our sport that the more practice they get, the better they will become.
While we're lauding drivers, we need to celebrate 2 that have had a little while between drinks with wins in the last week too.
Yes, of course we've got Billy Brunton. Billy, he's a wonderful guy. He's been in our sport for, I won't say how long, but a good while, so a great effort there. He won at Penrith last week, and of course we have Melissa Hare at Bathurst as well, so congratulations to you both. Great wins.
Melissa was on the pace last week. Very loyal to Kelly Munro, works with Jeff Simpson, and Jeff had a winner at Bathurst too with the Gold Crown winner Cast Along Shadow returning to the winners list at big odds.
Yeah, and that's one thing we're seeing lately, and we put it down to the handicapping system, that there's horses now being able to get into races where they are competitive again and winning. So, and the odds flow on from there.
Robbie Morris, he had a big night at Newcastle.
Yeah, treble to Robbie, and I think it was November 1, wasn't it? No, it was November 2. November 1, number 2. Which one was it? Anyway, it's the moustache.
Yes, Robbie Morris.
That's it. He's growing the moustache, and he's donating to cancer research.
Yeah, to Movember for every win the stable gets throughout the month. $100 they're donating, so that's a great touch by them.
It certainly is, and when we talk about trebles, we've also got Blake Jones. He's one of he is probably the premier driver in the Rev Arena, and he got a treble at Junee, supported by I think it was a double to Blake Micallef and a double to Ellen Bartley, and Peter McRae filled the field out.
Just on Ellen Bartley, one of Blake's wins, Eagles Ace, had 2 starts since 2014 or 15, and had 2 starts in 1,500 odd days, and was a winner at Junee. That's a great training performance.
Well, it's persistence, and obviously the horse always showed some ability, but for Ellen to care for that horse, get him back to the track and win, all compliments to her.
Yeah, 8 wins from 25 starts, so the patience has been worthwhile. Metro double to the chairman, Rod Smith.
Yeah, Rod Smith, and he likes his winners. If we ever kept a ledger on how much you put in and how much you take out, I think we'd be frightened. But for Rod, a winner at Tabcorp Park Menangle with Smith Star Lexus, and a winner at Redcliffe actually with Sam's the Master.
Australasian Drivers' Championships coming up in Hobart. We'll be cheering both Toddy McCarthy and Lauren Tritton.
I certainly hope so. They'll represent Australia very well. Now, these championships are held between Adelaide and Hobart year in, year out. The Harness Racing Australia Conference coincides with each of them, and this is all part of the two, smaller states. We'll call them smaller states, not to be disrespectful, but their Grand Circuit races aren't there now, so they get to run these championships, and out of it we can see some great competition.
Speaking of the areas which are stronger, but not massive compared to the metropolitan area, the Tamworth trainers had a field day last week.
Yeah, they keep on telling me that they need more races and more races for themselves, but 6 out of 8 ain't too bad. And for Sarah Rushbrook, who is, she's always at me, John, we need more races. She's going wonderful, a double again.
Yep. So great to see that for the locals. And finally, HRA AGM coming up at Hobart on Friday, and I don't think you need to be Einstein to work out what the number one priority of this meeting's going to be.
Well, it's always a priority to all the states, the welfare of our horses, but we will be really focusing on, for a good period, what we do with retraining and rehoming horses, and coming up with a method that is acceptable nationally and able to be rolled out nationally. Like people say, you just do it here and you just do it there, but we're all different states. We all have different funding arrangements. We have different resources. We have a different number of horses in each state. So we'll sit down and have I'm sure, a very long period on what is the best way forward with our horses. We've got a really good record. Like it doesn't matter. What others say, we have a great record in rehoming horses, in harness racing. Individual owners are doing a marvellous job with what they do. Trainers care for the horses probably better than themselves on some occasions. So we have a good record. Let's just tighten it up and make sure that as far as society is concerned, they see what we're actually doing.
Yeah, is that one of the messages that's got to come out of this meeting, how you get those messages out? Because with the Melbourne Cup on yesterday, we've read the doomsdayers out there and so much misinformation. Is getting it to the right areas paramount?
I think it is. The greater number of people in our society are passives. They accept that we do things, but let's tell them more emphatically what we do with our horses and how we do care for our horses. But at the same time, people accept that there is a realistic outlook to everything we do in life. So we need to get it out there. We need to have a really concerted effort to tell our story.
John, it's always been a busy week, and we'll do it again this time next week.
We certainly will, Mark.
Get racing.